Hi everyone, and welcome to the tutorial video to the University Studies Program 2015. The University Studies Program is UW's general education program, and this tutorial video hopes to introduce you to the program, what types of courses are included in the program, how to find out if a class has a USP attribute, and also how to look up classes that do have the USP attribute. This is great information for all advisors, both new and old, as well as students. This is really great information for students to know. Here is the USP 2015 program check sheet that's available on the USP website. It gives an overview of the 30 credit hours that are required for the program. We'll go into each of these in more depth in a moment, but this is a great resource for advisors and students to have an overview of what the program is and what each attribute entails. The first requirement for the USP program is that of the first year seminar. It's a 3 credit hour course required of all students. The best way to search for these courses is that all FYS courses have the course number of 1101. Their subject prefixes can vary, but they all have the course number of 1101. UW students must earn credit for their FYS in their first academic year, and it has to be completed with a C or better. The University Studies Program requirement for the first year seminar is waived for students that have 30 or more post-high school credit hours. The other important thing to note is that it can be from any major. It doesn't matter if it's the student's major or not. So for example, a student in the College of Business can take a first year seminar through kinesiology, and that's okay. The next requirement is that of Communication 1. There are 3 communication levels, and this is the first. Again, similar to the first year seminar, it must be completed with a C or better. Although a D will earn a student credit, it will not fulfill the University Studies requirement. The USP can be fulfilled through concurrent high school enrollment, which is a really common trend with students. It can also be fulfilled through AP or IB credit. You can check the registrar's website for details on the scores that a student would need in each of those areas. Students are strongly encouraged to complete this during their first academic year, as it serves as a prerequisite for many, many courses, especially the Communication 2 courses, naturally. So the next in the sequence is the Communication 2. Similar to the first year seminar and the Communication 1, it must be completed with a C or better. The Communication 2 is generally taken in a student's second year, although many students will take it in their second semester of their first year also. Some majors and degree programs have a Communication 2 embedded in their major coursework. So if there's a prescribed course for a student to take, check their major, check their degree evaluation, and see before advising them to take a different Com 2. The most widely transferable Com 2 is COJO 2010 Public Speaking. The next in and final communication in the sequence is Communication 3. Successful Communication 2 is required before the Com 3, and it must be completed with a C or better. This attribute's generally taken in a student's senior year, sometimes in their junior year, and most majors, the majority of majors, have a Com 3 embedded in their curriculum. And so a student and an advisor will really want to check the curriculum and see what the Com 3 is and see when it should be taken in their sequence. All Com 3s are upper division courses. The next USP that we're going to talk about is quantitative reasoning. This is the math course, right? The quantitative reasoning course required by the university. Students can receive credit for the Q by placing out of a course through the ACT, SAT, AP test, IB credit, or the math placement exam. So if a student scores well enough, they could check this off of their degree evaluation without ever taking a course. The quantitative reasoning courses are specific to majors, departments, and college requirements, so be aware, check and see what the degree evaluation dictates for a student's Q. Some courses with the Q attributes are not appropriate for all majors. This is a big distinction between technical and non-technical degree tracks and whether or not they require college algebra or not. So again, check the degree evaluation, chat with the student about what their academic and career goals are. The next USP is the human culture, or the H, and this one's a little bit different. There's not one class to cover this. A student needs 6 credit hours of human culture coursework to satisfy the University Studies program. The H is the largest in the variety of elective choice that students have to cover this USP attribute. Students should find a class that's interesting to them and sparks their curiosity. Many of the H courses can lead to minors or can lead to upper division electives. And this is important as students will need to earn 42 upper division credit hours to graduate from the university. Courses that are required for a major that are outside that major's department will count for the H. However, it's important to note an H course cannot count if it's in a student's major. So for example, if a student is a psychology major and they take Psychology 1000, that Psychology 1000 course does not count towards their human culture credits because it is in their major. Should the student change their major outside of psychology, that class would then count, those hours would count for the human culture credits. Next is the physical and natural world, or the PN, and similar to the human culture that we just looked at, 6 credit hours are required. And again, it cannot be in the student's major department, so the same as the H credit. There's a very large variety of elective choices within this USP attribute. Many options are both 3 credit hour courses without a lab or 4 credit hour lab science courses. It's important to note many arts and sciences majors require lab science courses, where students outside of those colleges aren't required to take the lab science. They can take the 3 credit hour courses. It's also important to note that many lab science courses that are required for technical degree programs will count because they're outside of the student's declared major. For example, any engineering student that has to take chemistry or geology, those 4 credit lab science courses count towards their university studies program, physical and natural world. The final USP attribute is the V, or the U.S. and Wyoming Constitution. This is a requirement that's mandated by the state legislature. Students are required to take a course that covers the U.S. and the Wyoming Constitution. Political Science 1000 is the most transferable V course across all UW majors. That's a great one for students to take if they're not sure where they want to go or what they want to study, as it's a specific major requirement for quite a few majors. However, there are some other courses students can take, history courses as well as economics. For students that are transferring U.S. and U.S. history and U.S. government credit from outside of the state of Wyoming are eligible for 2 options because they need to cover the Wyoming government portion. So they can take Political Science 1100, it's a 1 credit hour Wyoming government course, or they can take a government challenge exam through the Political Science Department. See the Political Science Department website under Challenge Exam for more info. So how do you know if a course covers a USP attribute? You can see it in the university catalog. As we can see here, they're listed with the USP code in brackets after the title of the course. So for example, the American Studies 1101 course we see here covers the FYS. And we see the American Studies 2010, the Introduction to American Studies, covers the human culture. And then the next course, the Cultural Diversity in America, covers the human culture also. We can see it also under lookup classes within the registration system, within the Banner registration system. If we click on the title of the course, we can then click on attribute, and we see that this covers the USP 15 human culture. So how can I search for a class? What if I know I want to take a USP course? How can I search for this attribute? Well, we can go to the University Studies website and we can see all courses approved for USP 2015. This is a comprehensive list of all classes that have gone through the process with the University Studies Program Committee and gotten approval for an attribute. However, that does not mean the class is being offered in the coming term. So the best way is to enter your search criteria by using the advanced search in the lookup classes. To get to the lookup classes, a student or an advisor logs into their WIO records and they click on registration, and then from that landing page you will see a browse classes icon. That'll bring you to this enter search criteria page where you can use the advanced search. Once I click advanced search, I have a lot more filters here, and I can see the University Studies Program 15 requirements if I scroll down. So here I'm highlighting the USP 15 C2. Once I bring up the USP 15 C2, it'll show me all the courses that are being offered that term which carry that attribute. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you can use this information in your practice.